What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm dying in here, but I don't want there to be any noise, so I have no AC on, no windows open. I wish I did because it's like super hot, but it's really not. So I don't know why I'm burning up so much in here. Probably the lights, but let's just get into this video. As you can probably tell from the title, I'm actually going to be talking about Doordash's stock. So if you don't know, I actually do Doordash as a driver, and I also do Grubhub, Uber Eats, all the fun things in the world. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to actually research the stock Doordash. If you didn't know, it just hit the stock market a couple days ago on Wednesday. I believe that was the 8th, or actually today's the 11th, huh? So Wednesday was the 9th? Today's already Friday. I'm getting so confused. If you don't know what Doordash is, you've probably been living under a rock, because Doordash is a company where they deliver food, they have drivers that deliver food, and now they do groceries and other things like that. So they just have drivers that deliver food, and they're like the middleman from a restaurant to a customer. So that's the basis of what Doordash is and does. And Doordash was founded in 2013. They just became a publicly traded stock, like I just said, on Wednesday. Stock was first offering for $102 per share, and then when it actually was available to trade, it opened for trading at $182 a share, which honestly, I did not expect it to be that high. Shiloh, what are you looking at? I see you. You better not bark. I was shocked that it was that high, just because, I don't know, I know it's a huge company, like billion-dollar company, but I just had no idea that it would be that high per share. So let me just start off by saying I do not own any of Doordash shares. I probably will never, maybe, but definitely not right now, and definitely not in the near future. And I will explain why, but as of right now, I do not own it. And also as of right now, the stock is actually at $174.92. It's down $11. Now it just changed. So now it's actually down $11.24. 174.76 is what it is. So it's down today. It was down yesterday. It's been down since it came out. Like, it went really well at first, and then it's kind of just dropped down. So I have quite a bit of notes, like I always do. I'm just going to go over with you guys. So the volume of Doordash right now, at the time of filming, not the time you're seeing this, because you'll probably be seeing this on Saturday, is 17.34 million. And when I actually wrote down the notes, it was yesterday, and so it was 25.37 million, but it changes every day, so it has dropped a little bit. Less people are buying and selling right now. And the market cap is 66.04 billion at the moment. So let me just tell you a little bit about their finances. I'm not going to go into huge depth about it, but in 2019 they actually lost $667 million, and then for the first 9 months in 2020 they actually didn't lose nearly as much. They only have lost $149 million in 2020 so far, so that's a huge difference. They're still down, but at least they're kind of going in the right direction. I will say, pretty sure that has to do a lot with the virus, just because personally I started doing Doordash last year in December, and I didn't do it a whole lot, but it wasn't very busy at all. And when I say not busy at all, I was making like $40 a day, and it was terrible. And so once the virus hit, it became a lot more known, I think, at least where I lived, because I was in a really small town before I moved to Austin. And so more people just were like almost making it as a necessity instead of a luxury to order Doordash. And so it was just a lot busier. Doordash is really not a very profitable company. Like, they have a lot of losses. They're not really making a lot. They're having a lot to pay compared to how much they're making. But I will say the contribution margin changed from -2% last year to actually positive 3% this year in the first 9 months. So at least they're heading in a better direction that way. And honestly, Doordash has been so successful this year, like I said, because of the virus and stuff. And restaurants, have been forced to close down in certain places and limit their seating, and they've been like very, very hit by the virus. And so they've really, really had to rely on Doordash, Grubhub, Uber, any sort of delivery apps to actually make money. But with that comes a lot of expenses for the restaurants, because Doordash, if you did not know, takes quite a big chunk of commission from each order. It can range, I believe, from like 15%, maybe a little less. I'm sure it all depends with each restaurant, but all the way up to 30%, which is a huge amount if you really think about it. Like a $100 order, 30% would be $30 on a $100 order. And then, you have to think of them paying all their employees at the restaurant. That's a pretty big chunk of change to be taken. But obviously Doordash needs to make some sort of money, to pay their drivers, even though they pay us crappy, and to keep running. So they need to make something, but it is very just hard. I can see how it is just, you know, hard for the restaurants, also hard for DoorDash, so I get it, but restaurants have really just been forced to use DoorDash unless they have their own delivery service, which I totally get, but I can imagine that must be a little stressful, so I'm kind of nervous as a driver. I just hope that, like, I still want to be able to have a job, you know, and so I don't want anything bad to happen or work where restaurants are like, we're losing too much money, so we need to hire our own drivers or like this, that, or whatever idea they have. So it is just a little nerve-wracking. And also, like, if DoorDash wants to have drones one day instead of drivers, I mean, that would just be so bad for us drivers, but definitely could see it happening in the future. Just would suck, and then there'd be less jobs. So that would be really bad, but who knows? It would help them out, obviously. They wouldn't have to pay drivers and stuff because it would just be robots. So I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens. Even with the virus and everything going on, like, their numbers are still not very good. They're still losing money. They're just not making it, you know? Like, they have a lot of orders. They do good, but they also just aren't a very great company. I'm going to get into that just a little bit, that I see on the, you know, the front line. I see this happening. So let's just talk a little bit about that and why I think the company is not the best and how I feel about the stock. So obviously I don't know too much about how the stock's gonna do. Like, I never know, but I can give my opinions on it. And so right now it's just a little difficult because it just came out, so I don't know. But I will say that I think the stock is just like 174. I just think that's too high right now, honestly. Airbnb just came out and I don't even think they're that high right now, and I think Airbnb is a little bit of a better company personally. I like Airbnb, obviously like DoorDash, but like I said, there's things that need to be changed. So I am shocked that it is 174 per share. Like, I don't know how it's that high. I think it just got pushed up too much in the beginning. I think that it should not be that high. I do think it's probably going to come crashing down here pretty soon, or maybe not soon, but definitely after the virus is somewhat contained and we have a vaccine and stuff is, you know, getting back to normal. I just don't think the stock will be a great buy for people at that time, you know. Maybe right now it might go up a little bit, you know, if the virus isn't going anywhere, but once it does, I don't know. I just don't see it being good. Like, I don't know. I feel like the stock will hit $100 whenever the virus is done. Like, I definitely think it will drop, if not more, by then. Obviously, this is all my opinion, so like I say in every video, take it with a grain of salt. Who knows what could happen? Maybe they're going to make some great changes, and then it'll be even more profitable company and more reputable, but I don't know. So I guess we'll just see what happens when it comes to that. But that's what I think about the stock. Just why I'm not a huge fan of the company. If you've used DoorDash, maybe you've experienced this, maybe you haven't. Like, as a customer, definitely as a driver, you've probably experienced this, and a lot of people that are drivers watch my videos, so if you're watching this, comment down below if this happens a lot. But DoorDash crashes all the time. There was a week about 2 to 3 weeks ago where 3 days that week, the app crashed for hours. Like, at least 2 hours. So, and I don't mean like total out of all 3 of those. There was one day that was like at least 2 hours, just one day, where it just, you can't do anything on the app. Even if you're on an order, the app crashes, and like, they don't pay us for anything other than that order, I guess, or, you know, they don't give you pay because we're not an hourly waged employee. We're not an employee, we're independent contractor, but it does suck when we can't work when we want to because the app is crashing. And it always would happen. I promise you guys, it would always happen on Fridays, every single Friday. And it was really, like, you almost were guaranteed to have a crash on Friday. And they have gotten a little bit better, but lately the app's just been a little bit weird for me. Even today, it's been a little, almost just glitchy, but not like so bad, not where I can't take orders, but just where the orders aren't popping up for a long time and I almost miss an order. So it's just been a little stressful. And support used to be so bad. So it was just a huge pain trying to talk to people and get things figured out. So I think they really need to work on their back end things and figure it all out if they really want to, you know, make investors happy, because I guarantee you that the amount of money they lose during one of their outages or whatever you want to call it is a huge amount, and I'm sure investors will not be very happy about it. So they should really work on that and stop working on changing all this other stuff with the app. They just update the app, I feel like, too frequently and just change little things. Like 3 days ago, it changed again, and it's just different format, and I don't know why, because They just need to be working on fixing the actual app itself, you know, so there's less glitchiness. And also something that really stuck out to me, if you don't know, Grubhub, I believe Postmates, I actually haven't looked though. I've only looked at Grubhub. I didn't even really think about Postmates. And I don't even, I'm sure Uber has stock too, but I haven't checked that one out either. But maybe I'll pop both of those up right here just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Definitely Grubhub, but Grubhub's stock I think is at like $70 the last I looked. If you think $174 to $70, that's it, over $100 per share difference. And I think Grubhub is not nearly as popular as Doordash. It's not a household name or anything. Everyone knows Doordash. But I know that when Grubhub was on the stock market, I believe their high was in the 100s, like 130, somewhere near there, and it's all the way down to 70. So just in comparison, it's just worrisome just to see what might happen with Doordash once all the hype is gone, because it's just been super, super, super hyped up, I feel like, since it was announced that it was going to go public. And so I don't know, like this stock, I really don't know. Like I said, I don't have very high hopes for it. Real quickly, I'm editing, and before I get to the end part of this video, because I know all of you will click off before you see this if I do that, I just want to mention that I completely forgot to bring up how just a little bit with the competition with DoorDash and stuff. And so I wanted to mention that with how many different delivery services there are, that it is also a little hard to be profitable because there are so many delivery companies. But on the positive for DoorDash, they actually combined with Caviar a few months ago. Maybe it was a year ago, I think in December, I'm not sure. But actually, no, I don't think it was that far away. I think it was like sometime in 2020 they combined with Caviar and, like, you know, became one. And so that's good for them because they have less competition that way. But also Grubhub combined with Postmates, I think is who they combined with. Or maybe Uber. See, I get a little confused. Maybe Uber Eats combined with Postmates, one or the other. But I think all three of them have combined with other apps lately. So at least it's taking away some competition for the rest of them. You know, there's not like 6 different apps or whatever. And yeah, I mean, there's always probably going to be more. I'm sure there'll be more delivery apps eventually in the future that might do it differently. So who knows? But I did want to mention that really fast. I am very curious to see what you guys think of this stock, if you own any of it. And yeah, also DoorDash did a thing where they actually donated $200 million to their, not donated, I guess, but like gave back to their drivers and other people, I guess, that have to do with DoorDash. I thought it was just drivers, but it might be more. I didn't get anything because I've only made a little over 3,000 deliveries, and you had to have 5,000 deliveries to get 500, and then 10,000 deliveries to get 1,200. And people that have taken 15,000 deliveries got $5,000. So, kind of bummed that I didn't have 5,000 deliveries because I could have got at least 500. But like I said, let me know what you think of this stock. I know delivery service is a huge thing right now. I am just nervous about how it will be in the future once everything is done, for the sake of the stock and also for the sake of my career, not career, but my job right now. So it's a little stressful, but thank you guys so much for watching. I know I didn't really go into great depth on DoorDash just because I feel like the stock right now is so new. Like I said, there's just not a whole lot to be said about it, but you do your own research, find out whatever you need to find out before you purchase it if you haven't. And if you really want to, go for it. Maybe it will do really good. Maybe everything I'm saying is just so incorrect. I don't know. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, or if you want to see more content like this. And please subscribe. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.